Well, good morning. Welcome into the Vital Axiom on this beautiful Monday. Here in the southwest tip of Virginia, it is beautiful. About to get this show on the way, on the road. Are you guys ready? The final minute countdown. You guys ready for another installment of the Vital Axiom? We're talking about daredevils this week, risk takers. Oh yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, you're tuned into the Vital Axiom Network. This is where we broadcast this program daily, every morning, weekdays at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time from the southwest tip of Virginia, called the Vital Axiom. And you say, what in the world does that mean? Well, vital means crucial. Axiom means truth. In this case, crucially important, eternal truth, because we use the Word of God as the foundation for our conversation. And we're about to do it again. Welcome to the show, guys. Good to have you on the Vital Axiom for another installment. Our conversation on daredevils will begin right now. Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome into the show. Good to see you on Monday, the last day of February 2022. And I'm not saying that I'm disappointed about that, because it means spring is getting closer and closer. And I don't know about you guys, but I am ready for some spring. See, my computer is malfunctioning. There it goes. Okay, I tried to turn my audio down. It wouldn't go down. What are you guys doing? Oh, it still won't go down. Let me see if I can get oh, there it goes, finally. So I'm probably may have issues. I don't know. I hope not. You never know when you crank all this gear up what's going to happen. Good morning, guys. Welcome into number 1562 of our broadcast all over Facebook and YouTube. And we are glad that you were here and a part of our Vital Axiom family. Every morning, right when we start the show, we do a little shout out to those that have logged in and given us comments. And it's a special little gift we give you. I'm only kidding. I can't believe it would be that special. But let's see who's in here this morning. Just say anything. Daniel's here. Good morning, Daniel. How you doing, buddy? Good to see you. Good morning, Miss Betty from Winston-Salem. Mom and Dad are here. Good guys. Good to see you guys. Love you much. Miss you. Today's my son's birthday. He was really born on leap year, but there's not one this year. So we celebrated on the 28th. Happy birthday, Trevor. I think he's 34. Over on the Vital Axiom official page, Aaron and Debbie are in there. Miss Joyce, my mother-in-law's there. Jim is in the house. Dodie is back. Buongiorno. Let's see. Becca's here. Good morning, Becca. Kim is in the house. Miss Sherry from down in Peachtree Kona is here. Mr. Owen is here running around the country. Michael's here somewhere. Good morning, Michael. Good morning, Rita. How's that knee? Miss Cheyenne made it back in. Hello, Cheyenne. Seems like it's been a minute. And wrong message. You sent something wrong. Over on the Zion Family Ministries page, Miss Wanda's in there. Good morning, Wanda and Sam, and Miss Kay is there. Heather's back in the house, and I say Miss Bonnie is here. Good morning, Miss Bonnie. Remember, if you don't, I might see your name, but if you don't say anything, we'll leave you in silence. We'll leave you there on your own. Good to have you guys on the show. I feel like this song was meant to be for somebody today. I'm not really sure who. It's a song I wrote maybe about a year ago. And it just talks about that God is with us and He's fighting our battles, and that our hope really is in the Lord. You know, if you've not learned anything in the last couple of years, you've learned you can't put your hope in medications and the integrity of people working in industries and governments. Lord have mercy. You just can't. Your hope's got to lay somewhere else. It's got to be in the Lord. And so this song says that. My hope is in you. Man, you guys can join me if you want to sing it. Yeah. When my heart is overwhelmed, lead me to the You guys know me well enough to know I can just keep on going. I can sing that for the rest of the day. And I will sing it the rest of the day. My hope is in you. As I watch the world, just crumble around us as it has done so many times in history, my faith is not in man. It isn't. And I've learned even more in the last several years. I can never trust man in their systems. Let's see who got in while we were singing there. Miss Patricia got in. Good morning, Patricia. Oh, boy. Sorry I'm late today. It's okay. Nobody's upset. It's all good. It's all good. Let's see over on the Vital Axiom. Anybody got in? I see Miss Woodruff got in there. Good morning, Miss Lisa. And who else? Justin's here. Good morning, Justin, from out there in Kansas City. Kansas City here. I see Miss Young is here from Canada. I missed her. And Teresa JC. Hey, Teresa, who is that? Teresa JC. Good to see you on here. And I think it's everybody who's commented. I don't want to miss anybody who's left a comment, which I often do sometimes. Miss Bonnie, did I recognize that you were here? Maybe everybody. I might have gotten everybody. Prayers for Ukraine. Yeah, and I have sort of a different take on Ukraine. I've been there a few times. And Ukraine is a country. Let's talk about it as a country, not as a people. But as a country, Ukraine is a criminal country. It is a corrupt country. When I was there maybe 12 years ago, they were trying to get in the EU. And here's the two reasons they wouldn't allow them into the EU. And here's what it is. Ready? The European Union said no because of human trafficking. Did you know that Ukraine is one of the biggest human trafficking countries in the world? Did you know that? Did you know that they traffic more girls out of Russia into Asia? I mean, you can look it up. It's easy to find. They get these girls in Russia and say, hey, we're going to get you a modeling career. They take them through Ukraine, and then they get them on an airplane into somewhere in Asia. I actually know a girl who's a missionary in Asia, and they would come there, they would take their passports, and they became prostitutes and had no hope of a future. It's a really a terrible place. Also, the other reason the European Union wouldn't let them in is because of the corruption in their government. We know that many of our government leaders have laundered money through there and been involved in underhanded dealings. It's a terrible place. All the people that I knew got out. So bad they would leave their elderly parents and never go back. It was so bad. And so I do really feel sorry for the people of the country who are the innocent ones that are having to take the brunt of this. And they definitely need our prayer. And the Christians definitely need our prayer. It's a very, very difficult place to live. And I don't say that in a derogatory way. We don't, if you live in the West, you don't really understand the East, and you don't understand Eastern Europe, even the mentalities that are there. You almost have to go and spend some time, which I've done. 23 trips to the former Soviet Union, and a lot to be learned. And so pray for those people, and pray that that God delivers all of them, from Russia to Ukraine to any of those countries. Belarus is a very communist country, stayed with communism, even though they split the former Soviet Union up. Anyway, didn't want to get off on that today, but thank you, Timothy, for that. We do pray for those people today. God bless them and heal them, and it's a crazy world. How are you guys doing? We're talking this week about daredevils. I had a message yesterday, and you guys know what I do. I don't know if you know, but pastor at church, and so then on Monday through Friday, I'll take this past Sunday's message. I'll break it down over 5 days. And we had this conversation about what I shared on the Sunday before, and that's what we're doing today. So if you ever want to see any of these messages in their entirety in one setting, you can always go to our church Facebook or YouTube page and just watch, and that's entirely up to you want to do. And I talked about daredevils. I asked everybody this yesterday. I played a little funny video of a bull rider and talked about getting his femur broke and taking a year off. I'm like, dude, if I got my femur broke, I'd quit. But he didn't. He got back on a bull again for some reason. And so I asked everybody yesterday, and this question comes at you kind of sideways, and you don't go, what? But are you a daredevil? I want to ask you that. Patty says, I've studied a little, Pastor Wayne, and know that Russia and Ukraine have been a gateway to corrupt. It's so true. It's such a terrible thing. You just can't trust these corrupt leaders. Are you a daredevil? I grew up, I was a daredevil kind of person. I mean, like not the ultimate, but I mean skateboards and motorcycles and wheelies and going over jumps and I lately I've been kind of, I wouldn't say addicted, but kind of I hate television anymore. But the only thing we can watch is the cooking channel, and sometimes not even that, and a few Hallmark movies. But I spend a lot of time just watching epic fails of people doing extreme sports, and wow, the pain level is unbelievable. And I used to be, if you watch the service, or actually you can find it on my Facebook page. It might take you a minute. If you go to my photos and go to albums and go down to skydiving, you can see some pictures there of me. My son on Father's Day several years ago took me skydiving. And I had to do a tandem jump because I had never jumped, and it was awesome. I loved it. I'd do it again in a heartbeat. And so I asked everybody if they were daredevils, and I talked about a few things that I want to point out because we're going to switch gears and make this a spiritual conversation. There's something that drives people to seek the thrill. There's something that drives people to step out on the edge. The daredevil. Here's the definition of a daredevil: a recklessly daring person. And I don't know if the daring is necessarily true. You know, as a Ukrainian boy went out on a bridge and blew himself up to blow the bridge up because they didn't have a detonating device, and killed himself so the Russians couldn't come across that bridge. That's a reckless, daring person who gave it all for his country. But a daredevil is a recklessly daring person, or a reckless person who enjoys doing dangerous things. My son Trevor is our daredevil of the three kids. He's about to make his 300th jump from airplanes. I think he could actually be a instructor now and all these things. He's been doing that for a while, and he's always been the wild man doing what do you call that? Slack lining up in the trees. He's 60 feet up in the trees, and BMX and skateboard. And we used to call him faceplant because he wrecked in the gravels and busted his face. I remember sitting in the ER while the doctor picked the gravels out of his face, his chin specifically, I think. And so a daredevil is a reckless person who enjoys doing dangerous things. And one more kind of a thought: reckless or daring. And I told the church yesterday, a reckless person. I want you to get this because we're going to go a different direction, but we're kind of getting a feel so we know to make a comparison. People who take risks. People who take risks. It doesn't have to be athletics, by the way. There's a lot of kind of risks you can take in your life. Here's the definition of risk. Let's look at this. Exposure to the chance of loss or injury. Now, I want you to think about, because we're talking about injury with sports, but what about just simple loss? You know, I remember, I'm not that old, but I remember reading about the stock market crash and how people took incredible loss. Some of them took their lives. So risk is exposure to the chance of an injury or loss, hazardous or dangerous chance. To be a risk taker, to take a gamble. A friend of mine works at a convenience store, and somebody came in who was on fixed income from the government with their $400 check and sat there at the counter and just kept buying lottery tickets until they spent all their $400, their monthly check. And then when they didn't win anything, began to cry. What am I going to do? I'm not going to have any food. And of course, my friend's a very blunt person, said, you know, I don't know if they use this word, you're an idiot. You just blew all your money on the lottery. It's your fault. That person took a risk and it didn't pay off. So I'll just ask you, could you think of right now, have you ever watched, or could you think of extreme sports or just life like that story of what I would call epic fails? And I told the church this yesterday. I'm amazed at what kind of risks people will take for a thrill. Now, I've been in ministry 40-plus years. I'm working on 41 years of full-time ministry, no joke. I started as a youth pastor in 1981, November the 5th. And I've been in full-time ministry, missionary ministry, worship leading, youth pastoring, senior pastoring for years and years. And I've seen so many people take unbelievable risks for a brief thrill that some, it cost them the rest of their life. I mean, literally destroyed everything about their whole life. And so I told the church yesterday, I'm amazed at what kind of risks people will take for a thrill. And I've been one of those people. I mean, I've done some really dumb things in my life. I was reminded as I was preparing for this about something called swooping. My son, I told you, is a skydiver. And some of there's some crazy. Have you ever watched like the wingsuit divers? It's crazy. Screaming down the mountainsides right above the trees with no parachute. They have one, but I mean, they're not using those wingsuits. People, and bungee jumping and then base jumping always. There's something called swooping. Swooping is where you have like a super special parachute and you come down like you're going to land, and then you just scream across the ground, just flying. And last year, where my son jumps, a guy that he knew was killed doing that. And so I just repeat my statement. I'm amazed at what kind of risks people will take for a thrill. I remember when I went skydiving that day with my son, there was a guy that swooped. He did that. They had it like a small lake or a huge pond, whatever you want to call it. He just went skimming across the top of the water with his feet, and then he landed the parachute. And, we do incredible things just for a simple thrill. Here's what I wrote down and I share with the church. They risk life and limb. They risk losing very important relationships. I'll explain that. They risk losing important positions in life. I'll explain that. They risk finance, even public shame. Because, risk-taking and daredeviling is not just a sports activity. I remember one time I was sitting in my office, and I told this story yesterday. I was sitting in my office, Columbia, South Carolina. I was youth pastor there, and a big old guy that I did not know, that I knew that his family came to our church, and I'd seen him, came in, sit down in my office, and we shut the door. He immediately began to sob. He immediately began to cry. And I said, what's up with you? He said, I don't know what I'm going to do. Now, I want y'all to listen. I got to close. I'm a little bit over. I didn't realize that. Yakking today. He said, I'm in trouble. I said, what's wrong? He said, well, my wife doesn't know, but I have a really bad cocaine habit. And I said, okay. And he said, I went out and got a post office box and got credit cards, and I'm $40,000 in credit card debt. And I don't know what I'm going to do. I mean, today that'd be like $100,000. I mean, like more than that even, possibly. And he had taken these risks with drugs and secrecy from his wife and family, and it had cost him everything. And we'll get back to that. I mean, God, there's a good end to that story. God really helped him turn it around. He got delivered from the drugs. But, I just want you to think about that. Are you doing anything in your life right now that would risk your relationships, risk your positions? And ultimately, this conversation is going to end up here. Are you doing anything in your life right now that would risk your eternity? Because that's ultimately what it's all about. Where are you going to spend eternity? And I'm amazed at how people will risk that. It's crazy. We'll talk about it tomorrow. Love you guys. God bless you. I'm out of here. The show is over for today. Have a great Monday. God bless you guys. Ladies and gentlemen, you've been watching The Vital Axiom. It stands for Crucially Important Eternal Truth, brought to you from the Word of God. I just want to take a minute and say thank you. Danka, spasiba, gracias for being a part of these crucially important eternal conversations. You guys have a great day. Hey, Andy Heen, good to see you in there, buddy. Have a great day. Hey, Mary, God bless you. You have a wonderful day, Lisa. You have a wonderful day, Patricia. I hope I didn't miss many people. Have a good day, Heather. The agony of defeat. That's right, Sam. So true. Isn't it true? The thrill of victory. The agony of defeat. Bless you, Joyce. Love you, honey. Y'all have a good day.